Binge or Purge? Binge or Purge? Binge or Purge?
Hello and welcome to Binge or Purge streaming reviews. I'm your host, Dimo. My co-host is Joe Taylor. This is episode 82.
Good to see you, man. We got a special treat later today.
We do?
Yeah, we got a guest calling in.
Oh, great.
That'll be fun.
Thank you for telling me these things.
Yeah, no problem. So I guess we should just get right into it.
Yeah, let's go. I've got nothing up top. Let's get into a review. Do
Okay.
it. Go.
All right. This just came out on Netflix. Windfall.
Is this a series or a movie?
It's a movie. Have you
Okay.
seen any posters or anything?
Nothing.
So all I knew about it was what I saw on the Netflix, the ads or whatever. Jason Segel, who I love, Muppet movie. I Love You, Man. Great movies. Jesse Plemons.
The Power of the Dog.
Yeah,
I
also
know.
Friday Night Lights. And
Breaking Bad.
bunch of stuff in between. That wonderful episode of Black Mirror, of course. Jesse Plemons looking a little bit like, he's always looked a little bit like Matt Damon, I've thought.
Yeah.
And now he's put on some weight.
So he really looks like Matt Damon? No, I don't.
He looks like Fat Damon. And Lily Collins, who of course was in The Last Tycoon, which I liked a lot. So anyway.
Emily in Paris.
Oh, okay.
Did you watch any of Emily in Paris,
No.
by the way? I didn't. I was making sure you haven't.
Okay.
In my brain, all of a sudden, I was like, did you watch some of that? But you did not.
I did not.
Okay,
no.
cool. All right, thank you.
And there's only one other person in this movie. The gardener, played by Omar Leyva, which you have never heard of. But point is, there's 4 people in the whole movie. It's only 92 minutes long.
Ooh, it's
Now-
a selling point.
We've been complaining, or I've been complaining mostly, about how long stuff is. I mean, a year ago, this would have been turned into a 50-episode, hour-long, series. This was a pretty short movie, 92 minutes. I'll give you a synopsis of the plot. A guy breaks into a billionaire's house. The billionaire and his wife come home unexpectedly, and that's it. It's a drama. It's a thriller, suspense, very suspenseful, very uncomfortable most of the time. Yet Jason Segel manages to make it kind of lighthearted and funny. He's very funny, even in a suspense thriller, which he totally sells. He's himself. It's like the actual Jason Segel broke into someone's house. It's very watchable, and it's not heavy. It's not too much in the suspense, but it's definitely very tense. It's a slow burn. Now, I bring that up because I read a review about this that said it was too much of a slow burn, given that we're all used to watching short things and 1-hour episodes, and this took the whole hour and a half to get to the end. I mean, obviously, but there's a lot of downtime.
But it's not a 2-hour-plus movie.
That's my point. We're calling 92-minute movies a slow burn now. Parasite was 2 hours, 12 minutes. That's the closest thing structurally that you could find, like, for a script. Remember Parasite, everything happened in the last 10 minutes of the movie?
Yeah.
It's not quite like that, but again, it's 92 minutes. It's not 2 hours and 12 minutes. So it is a slow burn for a 92-minute movie, but it's very entertaining the whole way through, and enough stuff happens. It's a single location thing, right up my alley. I can't imagine this cost a whole lot to make. The director of photography, now that's the guy that does the filming.
Is that what he is, Joe?
For the people at home.
Uh-huh.
The DP, the cinematographer.
Double penetration.
Really,
Sorry,
Dimo?
I know.
Gosh.
I'm trying to contribute something here, okay?
Well, you haven't seen it though, right?
No.
Okay. Well, it looks amazing. The DP is Isaiah Danae Lee. This was only his second feature. He had another Netflix feature that I haven't seen yet or even heard of till today, but beautiful. They shoot it out in the desert at this huge vacation home that the billionaire and his wife own. Incredible looking movie, very well directed. Now, this was directed and partially written by, there were 4 writers. Charlie McDowell. Does that ring a bell?
No.
The One I Love, which was a Duplass thing.
Oh, a Duplass thing.
And-
you should open with that.
Yeah,
He's
you're
a
right.
Duplass writer. Okay, thanks.
And then The Discovery, which was kind of a sci-fi thing, also starred Jason Segel. about accessing his afterlife memories or something like that. That was a good one too. Netflix, that came out a few years ago, pre-COVID, believe it or not. Anyway, I loved this thing. Not getting good reviews.
A buddy of mine
Yeah.
called me yesterday. He goes, "Hey, have you seen this thing with Jesse Plemons?" I'm like, "The Power of the Dog." He goes, "Oh, hell no. This other thing." I'm like, "What other thing?" "The one with the guy from How I Met Your Mother." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Jason Segel." I go, "No, I know nothing about this." He goes, "It's called Windfall. Starts out great and then ends terrible." That's what he told me. I said,
Okay.
"All right, it sounds like a pass, but you're saying it's a binge."
Well, I am saying it's a binge. The thing that he might be sensing is that, 4 writers, 4 story by writers, 2 screenplay by writers, who are also 2 of the 4 guys. And I don't know if you know this, when they put an and sign, an ampersand, that means a rewrite. Whereas if it was written by Dimo and Joe Taylor, A&D, that means we wrote it together. Written by Dimo and ampersand Joe Taylor means I rewrote your terrible script.
Whoa.
Yeah, so this is...
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's true.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Means separate creative contributions.
That is something I find fascinating.
There we
I thought
go.
I knew everything. Wow.
Well, now you do.
I'm enlightened on the ways of the WGA.
Yeah. So I'll cut to the chase here. Windfall on Netflix just came out. Jason Segel, Jesse Plemons, Lily Collins. Absolute binge.
I'm just thinking about whose opinion I trust more, you or my buddy, whether I should watch this or not. Joe, I'm going to go with you. I will watch it.
Well, I am the professional.
You are the professional.
But I also understand your friend's criticism. Some people might agree with him, but it's worth watching, I say.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Definitely. I'll check it out.
What do you got?
All right. I had something that a couple people were like, "Oh, man, you got to check this out. It just came out on Amazon Prime. It's great." I was like, all right. I think they oversold it on me a little bit, but it is The Boys Presents Diabolical. Now, The Boys referencing the Amazon show.
This is not another season.
This is not another season. This is 8 animated shorts that reference, and basically they're like side stories for The Boys.
Each of the members of the...
They make appearances. They're not completely about those characters. Some are like the last episode, episode 8, is all about Homelander. But a lot of them are about different, nobodies or just side characters, and they incorporate the main characters in.
So these are not origin stories.
Not really.
See, I pay attention.
Look at that. Now, I love The Boys.
Yeah, yes, I do. Everyone knows that.
The show on Amazon. I love season 1. Season 2, it got better at the end. So this is just a little appetizer, I guess, before season 3. Now, there's no real commitment here because they're only 14 minutes apiece.
I like that.
Right? So, you're like, oh, how long is this? They don't drag on. Like Love, Death, and Robots, which I like. Some of those were like half an hour. Some of those were 10 minutes. They ran over. This literally 13, 14 minutes an episode, and you're done. And the weird thing is they got like A-listers working on these, whether they're doing the voices or writing them. Seth Rogen wrote one. Of course, he executive produces the show, right? Awkwafina, Andy Samberg, Aisha Tyler, they all wrote and contributed voices at some point.
Really?
Yeah, Don Cheadle does a voice. A lot of celebrities in this. Everybody I think is like, oh, I love The Boys. I'm going to get in on this. And, these are okay. I think the problem is people are like, oh, man, it's so sick and twisted. And I went in and I'm just like, is it really? I'm wondering if I'm the one with the problem because nothing really, wowed me in terms of oh, my God, that's so gross. Okay, one thing was kind of gross, but it's kind of funny. Awkwafina's episode, which is number 4, called BFFs, she does the voice, and she takes Compound V, as a kid, and it gives her the power to control shit. Literal shit. She can control it, right? She gives birth to a shit baby.
Oh, great.
And it's like her little buddy. So that's about as gross as it gets. And it's super violent. Like I said, there's 8 of them. You can fly through it. Look, I watched it all this morning. I woke up and I just all right, let's just do it. And I went through them. The most enjoyable one for me was episode number 2 called An Animated Short Where Pissed Off Soups Kill Their Parents. And that one's kind of funny because all the soups, they're lame. They suck. They don't have really great powers. so they want to enact revenge on their parents for injecting them with the compound V.
Okay. Like
You're
the
right.
Menendez brothers. They did that for the same reason, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Compound V, and they were superheroes. Everyone knows that whole Eric and Lyle issue.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know that Eric and Lyle Menendez killed their parents the same day my father died? Isn't that fascinating?
How would I know that?
You wouldn't know that, but I'm letting everybody know. You know what I
Wow.
mean? And it's a trip because like there's all this police video stuff, where they go into the house and it's all dated, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that day.
Yeah, rough day.
Rough day for multiple people.
Yeah. I heard a funny take on that. I think it was Adam Carolla. He said, you're a bad parent when one of your kids says to the other kid, let's kill mom and dad, and they go, what time?
Yeah. So where was I going with this? What was that about? How did we get on
Oh, I don't know. The
serial killers and
Yeah.
wanting to kill their parents? That's
Right.
it. That's it. I don't think you should watch this if you don't like The Boys. You're really not going to benefit from it. It's not like any like incredible animation where it's like, oh my God, you got to see this even if you don't watch the show. This is really only for people that are fans of the show.
Okay.
I don't know. Some of them aren't that good. Some of them are. I enjoyed them. Like I said, the second one, if you like Homelander, the last one, number 8, and then the one that Andy Samberg wrote is dark. It's about this older couple. The wife is dying from pancreatic cancer. He steals some compound V, gives it to her, and her tumor explodes from her and starts going on a killing spree. Some pretty nasty stuff in it.
That's gross.
And I'm like, Andy Samberg wrote this? Anyway. So look it's out there now. It came out a few weeks ago. The Boys presents Diabolical, 8 animated shorts, 0 commitment. If you like The Boys, which I do, it's a binge.
There you have it, folks. Dimo loves The Boys, and all of his neighbors know as required by law. Now, when you say if you like The Boys, you'll like this spin-off thing, do you mean like it the way that I like it, which is that's pretty good, or like it the way that I like Frasier?
What do you mean like you like Frasier? You love Frasier.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what level of liking The Boys do you
I
have
think
to
you
like?
really gotta like it. I mean, these are enjoyable, but I don't think they're for everyone. Can I just talk about Frasier, though?
Okay. Why not?
I know you love it.
Yeah.
Cozy TV.
Yep.
My girlfriend is obsessed with it. Go over to her place. There it is on Cozy. She's either watching The Nanny or Roseanne or freaking Columbo. But the thing is, I'm over there all the time, so we're watching Frasier like crazy.
Yeah.
And I really didn't watch it in its original run. And I got to tell you, man, Frasier is fantastic.
It's amazing. Yeah. One of the best sitcoms.
The performing, all of it is so good. It's really enjoyable. I have no problem sitting down and watching 3 or 4 of them in a row.
Yeah. And those are on Hulu to bring it back to streaming a little bit.
They are?
Yeah.
Oh,
what did you
great.
say it was on? Cozy TV?
Cozy TV. Basically, Cozy just bought a bunch of old shows and they just throw them out there.
Cozy TV is owned by NBC Universal. The network airs classic television shows from the 1960s to the 2000s.
Point being, you mentioned Frasier, and hey everybody, binge Frasier. And as I'm sure you know, the sitcom with the most Emmy wins ever.
Yeah.
It had 37 wins and 108 nominations.
Fantastic show. I'm not sure how we got onto it, but we did. Now, I have some breaking news.
Oh, yeah?
We have a call-in interview. Now, you and I have both made independent films. What a pain, right? But this guy bravely navigated that process and has a finished film. Joining us now, Dan Copeland, writer, director, producer, actor. Movie coming out soon called 8 Wins. Dan, thanks for joining us.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk to you about my new film.
Excellent. Right off the bat, and this is really not about your film so much, but a minute in, and I'm like, this guy is a huge Apocalypse Now fan, right?
Absolutely.
That is my all-time favorite movie.
I actually lived with that film for a year. So when the film opened in New York, I was managing movie theaters. And at the Ziegfeld Theater, we did what was called a hard ticket road show.
Mm-hmm.
In the old days, movie tickets, you just bought a ticket and took your seat wherever you could. And so for Apocalypse Now to make it an event, they did reserve tickets. So it was my job to design and execute all those ticket sales. So I was there opening day, and we had a line around the block to buy tickets. So I actually, wherever that film went for the first year it opened in New York City, I was there. So I saw it a lot of times.
Wow, that's awesome. Question for you. What do you think of the other cuts that he released? Like, Redux and then
Yeah.
the final cut.
I've seen them all, actually.
I have
and
too.
To be candid with you, I kind of prefer the original theatrical cut that went out.
Thank you. I'm 100% feel the same way. I find that French plantation scene stops the movie dead.
Yep.
The movie has enough problems in the third act, momentum-wise. The final cut, I go, oh, he's definitely going to take the plantation scene back out. Nope, there it is. And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
I agree with you. After 3 versions, the original 79 theatrical cut is the superior version.
Yeah. I mean, there are kind of 3 different movies, actually. I was at NYU Film School, and the original John Milius script was on reserve in the reading room, so I got to read the original script, which was really much wilder and fanciful and almost kind of a post-apocalyptic type of story. But that plantation sequence is just, I mean, it's beautiful, but it just doesn't belong in the movie.
I
It just
agree.
doesn't.
It does not work.
It doesn't advance the story. It could have been another movie on its own. It was almost like a dream sequence.
I know. Well, when Coppola was shooting it, like in Hearts of Darkness, he was telling them why they're making it. I'm not going to put this in the movie. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
He knew. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't want to harp on Apocalypse much more. I know Joe needs to move on here. But I just want to say I'm a kindred spirit there for Apocalypse Now. So when your movie started that, I was like, oh, I like this guy already.
Well, just as a side, I mean, there was a longer cut of my film which had a lot more allusions to Apocalypse Now in it. And the way movies go, you shoot stuff and then you get to the editing room and it just doesn't fit anymore. So I lost a lot of it. But yeah, Apocalypse Now is ingrained in my psyche.
Excellent.
Great. Well, this was quite the ride story-wise, and you wrote this yourself, right?
Correct.
And we'll give just a real short, I guess, the log line. It's kind of 3 different people from different industries that get entangled trying to stop a Russian villain from trying to control the water supply. A little bit inspired, I would say. It reminded me of Chinatown a little bit with kind of the villain's goal. And then, great 3 characters, one of them played by you, that kind of get, brought into that whole conflict. So what was the inspiration for this story when you wrote it?
Well, definitely Chinatown and also Robert Altman's The Long Goodbye and all the Bogart, Marlowe type films that came out were films that always inspired me when I was growing up. And then I always loved spy movies and movies where the plot is like a chess game. So the inciting event was actually the 2016 election. I just got so upset over that I looked at my life and it'd been 20 years since I had made a movie of my own. I had worked on a lot of other films for other people, but it'd been 20 years since I made my film. And so I said, I got to do it. I'm running out of time here. I started writing the script immediately. I even started shooting this film before the script was done. It was just like, the hell with it. I got to make a movie. I got to do it. I don't care if it costs, 10 cents or $10 million. I'm making this film.
Well, you did it.
But I did it. I had to do it. Yeah.
So Dimo and I have been through the filmmaking process with indie films, some shorts, and then a couple years ago, a feature. What a pain. And anyone who's made it through that whole process, we have a world of respect for, because it's a grind, right?
It's always an adventure, I hate to say, because it's not always a fun adventure. And this is the 3rd feature film I've made of my own. And, I've got credits for about a handful of other films that I've worked on in a variety of capacities. I just got to do it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not about making the money. It's about, telling a story and entertaining people and, exploring the world through art. you look at that as the plus, and then you look at the negatives, which is you kind of work in a room by yourself for 5 years, wondering if at the end of the day anybody will even see your film, much less like it.
Well, congrats on finishing it and now getting it out there. As this episode airs, it will have just come out on Amazon Prime. Is that right?
So it'll be on Dish, Vudu, Google Play, Xbox, Prime Video, DirecTV, Verizon, Vubiquity. So you can pretty much get it wherever you get movies.
Yeah.
Great. And it premiered, actually, looks like in Madrid, right?
Correct. We had our world premiere at the Madrid International Film Festival last summer, and it won Best Original Screenplay.
And it was nominated for some other stuff, too, it looks like, including
Yeah, I
you.
mean, we kind of swept the nominations. Best Feature Film, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Editing, a couple others. So, yeah, it really tickled my fancy.
This film has some great talent in it. It's got you, of course, but then you've also got Robert Davi, who is awesome in it. The leading lady, Leona Paraminsky, Joe Sabatino, who did, I think, was nominated for something at the Madrid Festival, too.
Yeah, he was Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah. And you guys all, well, actually, I just wanted to ask from a production standpoint, how long did you shoot? How many days did you shoot?
I think it's about 27 days, plus another 2 days of reshoots. But it was 27 days spread out over about 2 months. Some days we would just go and shoot one scene. Like one day we just went to Beverly Hills and shot that, walk and talk between Charlie and Natalie with the fireworks. One day we just went down to the beach and shot the stuff down there. So there were a couple of full days, but most days were, pretty manageable, 5 or 6 hours at the most.
And you shot, it looked like the West Side Comedy Club.
The exterior was the West Side Comedy Club, and then the actual interior, the stage was the Lounge Theater up in Hollywood. The brick wall was a Lounge Theater in Hollywood, and then the bar was at a standing stage at a place called Remit Studios up in Encino.
Oh, yeah. I've been to Remit a few times. And speaking of that scene, the bartender, Socrates Francis, a mutual friend of ours, that's who introduced us. So thank you, Socrates.
Right. The movie is 8 wins. Go see it anywhere.
Thank you, guys. And have a good time. Enjoy this film. It's meant to be entertaining.
Excellent. Dan, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for being on Binge or Purge. But before we go, what are you watching now? What's streaming out there that you really you were enjoying and you think people should check out?
Yeah, a couple of shows. Most of them are on HBO. I really enjoyed The Gilded Age.
I just reviewed it last week, and I loved The Gilded Age. And I was surprised. I didn't think I was, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the American version of Downton Abbey, but I grew up in New York, and so a lot of that history rings true for me, and I enjoyed that. The new show, Minx, is really funny. And if you haven't seen Station 11 yet, you've got to watch that show.
I did watch amazing. Station 11. I did. We reviewed that. I didn't care for Station 11, but I just thought it was kind of a mess. But hey, a lot of people love it for sure, and I'm glad you do. Definitely.
Well, as Mark Twain said, that's why there's horse races, a difference of opinion.
Exactly. All right, we'll let you go, Dan. Thank you so much for being on Binge or Purge. We appreciate you taking the time. And once again, everybody go check out 8 Wins. Have a good one.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That was very nice of Dan Copeland to call in. I'll recap real quick. We only did 2 other shows today. We talked about Windfall on Netflix. I said that's an absolute binge. Mm-hmm. You'll like it too, Dimo. I think it's up your alley.
Okay.
And then Dimo talked about The Boys presents Diabolical. It's an anthology, right?
Yeah. 8 animated shorts, 13 to 14 minutes. If you love The Boys, definitely watch it. If you don't, you're going to be like, what? Why? What am I doing here?
All right, so those were the 2 shows. We had a great call in. 8 Wins is out now on all streaming platforms. And where can people reach us, Dimo?
Please send us your voice messages, which you've been doing so well, everyone. Sarcasm. For the love of God, someone send us a voicemail, okay? I mean, what are you afraid of, people? You're scared. I understand you're scared, okay? Take those risks. how much time do we have left on this planet? Okay? We don't know. Nothing's for certain. But live on in infamy and record your voice and send it to us at bingeorpurgepodcast@gmail.com. We will play it, and you will be happy you did it.
Yep. And also Instagram at Binge or Purge Podcast, Twitter at Binge or Purge, Facebook.com/Binge or Purge. Pretty much everywhere you can get podcasts. So
Yeah, you look
tell
at-
a friend. Hey, tell a friend. That's
Tell
really
a
the
friend.
message.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Tell a friend. We're out there. You're listening. We keep going here. All right, we're filling time here. That's what we're doing. Let's wrap it up. As always, we want to thank Jess the Facts. You can follow Jess the Facts on Instagram at the Jesse Greer. That's Jesse with a Y.
Thank you, Jess.
So for Joe Taylor, my name is Dimo. This has been Binge or Purge Streaming Reviews. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.